Greetings, travelers! My name is Essie, and this is the YouTube channel for the Traveling Thistle, a travel blog run by yours truly. Welcome to the first ever vlog for the Traveling Thistle. For 2019, one of my goals was that I wanted to develop and grow a YouTube channel for my blog because in addition to blogging, I would like to document with video my travels and all the things that are going on in my life, especially for the people that are spread throughout the country that know me. I have lived in a lot of different places, so I've made a lot of friends all around the country, and I just wanted them to be able to keep up with me while I'm on the road, kind of know what's going on in my life. I think that one of the really personal things that I'd like to share, I'm going to post a trigger warning because what I'm about to talk about is very sensitive and has to do with mental health, and maybe other people might be upset by it. So if you are at all given anxiety or triggered by mental health issues, including suicide and attempted suicide, I would recommend that you stop watching here and skip ahead a little bit. Okay, those of you that are left are troopers or extremely curious as to what I'm going to say. So let's get down to business, as the guy from Milan would say. I have done a lot of traveling this year, but I have also most recently had an extremely sensitive and terrible flare-up of one of my mental disorders. My boyfriend broke up with me, and it sounds very pathetic, but I tried to take my own life. Not in response to him breaking up with me, just that for me at the time, it seemed like the only option that I had. It, quote unquote, would solve all my problems, and it didn't. Because as one of the girls in my therapy group had said, did it go through? I hate when it doesn't go through. It didn't go through. For me, I was looking at being homeless, still am, that I didn't want to burden anyone with me. I didn't want to ask people if I could come stay with them because I had done that several times before and no one gave me a couch to sleep on, with the exception of a couple of people who did it and, you know, previous times when I needed it. And it really felt like I was asking too much to ask for help. I've got some debt, and I just thought that it was the answer. I know it's not, but I thought it was in that moment, and that's all that mattered. So I tried to take my own life. I ended up hospitalized, and I've been going under treatment for major depression and anxiety. I'm doing much better. I will never be cured, but I am doing better than I was when I was hospitalized. Otherwise, they wouldn't have let me come home, or they would have sent me back. I'm slowly easing back into the world. Today is a very hard day. It would have been Jason and I's 2-year anniversary. Facebook has already set me off. Talking with the short-term disability representative has already made me very emotionally sensitive, and today I'm not doing so well, and I knew I wasn't going to do well, but I'm going to have days like this. I'm going to have days where I'm not feeling the best, but I will also have hopefully more days that are better, where I don't get triggered by something, I don't have a panic attack, I don't break down and cry and sit in my bed. In fact, I almost did that instead of doing this. I forced myself to remember who I am and not let myself do that, to do something that makes me accountable. So, weekly vlogs will hold me accountable to myself, to this journey that I'm going on, to the business that I hope to start with the Traveling Thistle. And, you know, I just can't be brought down by my mental health anymore. So I'm fighting it. I'm fighting it with everything that I have. You don't know what another person is going through. We put our best selves forward on social media because we project to the world the people that we want to be, the best version of ourselves. I did have some ups in 2018, so I went on 3 different trips, which was a lot more than I had done in previous years. I traveled to, in February, I traveled to Omaha to be in my sister's wedding. It was a very charged trip. I was given an antibiotic to go on before that made me extremely sick, and we thought I wasn't gonna be able to get on the plane, but I was determined and I made it. Yay! But I was still sick for a good portion of the trip, but I did feel well enough to actually be in my sister's wedding and make some nice memories with her. I also was able to see family that I hadn't seen in so many years. My aunt Kelly, I hadn't seen her in I think 17 years. It had been a good portion of time since I had seen my grandpa Charlie. I, you know, hadn't seen my sisters Desiree and April for, oh God, I had to have been like 2 or 3 the last time I had seen them. I'm 30 now. Like, wow. So that was big. And, you know, I got to meet nieces and nephews that I'd never met before. It was just a really great trip. I got to see my cousin. I got to see my brother who I hadn't seen in years. It was just a very, very good experience for me. And, you know, Jason had finally met some of my family. um, you know, I was like, I don't know if you'll ever meet anybody from my family because I don't really talk to them and get along with them all too well. But it was it was nice. And then in between changing jobs, um, I went on a weekend trip to Austin. It was very nice. I hadn't been to Austin. I had just driven through Austin once, and it was gorgeous. Cooper's in downtown. Barbecue. If you go and you eat meat, Cooper's. You must go. It is so good. Also, if you like weird things, Uncommon Objects. That was the funnest place that I'd ever been shopping in. Jason got a blowtorch from the 1920s, and I bought, I don't even remember what I got there. Oh God. We both said that we would pick out one thing because since they are uncommon, supply and demand, some of the items, most of the items are very vintage. There were a couple of books that I really wanted, but I couldn't see myself paying $100 for an old used book, even if it was like super cool astrology and like first edition copies of like medical textbooks. It was really cool. Mortuary Sciences, I think, was one that I found. I'm a book person, so I, you know, do that quite a bit. They also had a ton of jewelry. They had this really cool looking skull that was $75. And if it wasn't made out of resin and it was made out of actual stone, I totally would have paid $75 for it. It was huge. It was red marbled. It was cool as heck. But for resin, if I have a mold, I can make that myself. So I wasn't really too keyed up on that idea. I expected it to be a very heavy object and it was not. Still cool. I always look for skulls anywhere I go. And the other place that we went in Austin that I thought was amazing was the Blue Cat Cafe. It has tons of kitties that are up for adoption. You get to go have drinks and food with kittens and pet kittens, and you know, we had a blast. We had a blast there. Went to the state capitol building and the state history museum. Those were awesome. Definitely recommend them if you're being touristy while in Austin. And then New Orleans, right before I got sick. We went to New Orleans and I met up with a friend from a game that I play called World of Warcraft. We were in a guild together and he kind of showed us around a little bit. We went and ate some really great food and I didn't get my beignets. It's the second time that I have been to New Orleans and I didn't get a beignet. I really wanted to, but I got sick there. I don't know what it is with me and vacations and getting sick, but I did, and I'm kicking myself for it. um, what else? There was so much that went on that trip. It was so beautiful. We went to went down St. Charles to see all the beautiful homes. I posted some of those on my Instagram. And the other thing that I would say that you have to do is go see the French Quarter. I love the French Quarter. I mean, it's the most touristy thing ever, but they've got street performers, which we saw some of those. They were awesome. There's, always something crazy going on. We went the last week of October, right before Halloween, and there was, like, I'm not joking, a witch convention or something going on. We just kept seeing people dressed up as stereotypical witches, pointy hats, black, striped stockings, cool shoes, lots of jewelry. I love it. I love all of it. I don't care if they're making fun of a religion or whatever, but they were all congregating. I took pictures of them out and about because it was just, I'd been to New Orleans in October before and it wasn't quite the same. Like it was not right after. It was in 2011. So it was after Katrina. It hadn't been as built up as much as it is now. It looks like a lot of things have been restored that were previously condemned. And yeah, it was just awesome to be back there. I love New Orleans. It probably will be one of my places that I end up staying in with my vintage Shasta because I got that. I am making payments on a 1963 vintage Shasta camper. It's about 16 feet long, maybe 100 square feet inside, not a lot of room. There's enough room for a bed, a dinette area, and a kitchen. So I have some plans to remodel it once I've got it paid off. There's a really nice guy named Charlie, which is who I named the Shasta after. And he's gonna bring it down here for me since I don't have a truck to transport it. And then I'm going to gut it and rebuild it to what I want it to look like. And then I'm gonna live in it. And that's gonna be my safety and security. There's a lot that I've gone through in my life, and safety and security is one of the things that I need for 2019. So what I'm looking forward to is speaking with my doctors and trying to get back to work as soon as possible. I am selling stuff on eBay because I need to get rid of a lot of stuff, and 100 square feet, even though it has a lot of storage, it's not enough for everything that I have. So I'm going to get that all set up, and hopefully we'll have an appearance from my kitty cat Achilles. I'm gonna travel around the world, not in the Shasta, but we're gonna travel around the United States at least. I do have a plan to get to Canada within the next couple of years, and possibly Mexico. Just depends on what we've got there. There he is. There's a little nugget. Hey, baby. It's my boy. You wanna come say hello? Do you wanna come say hello? Come here. Come say hello. Come here. Come boy. Oh, that's a big boy. My baby. This is my kitty. This is my boy. Say hello to everybody. Hi. Hello. Oh, he's a big boy. Isn't he? He's a big fluffy black cat. And I love him. Some of you may have gotten a Christmas card from us. He was not happy. He's a big boy. Okay, where was I? All right, thank you for coming by. Thank you for coming by. So things I'm looking forward to in 2019. Being in my Shasta camper, touring the US. That may not start until 2020. I want to make sure that I have the Shasta built up and that it's all restored and good to go before I start driving around. I also need to get a vehicle that can tow it. So lots of changes coming in 2019, and this weekly vlog should keep me accountable for that. Right now it's going to be kind of boring. I'm not really going to have a lot of things to update you with as far as travel and or restoring the Shasta. Once I've finally paid that off and I start doing that, the weekly vlogs will be a little bit more interesting. I will come up with some topics and try to keep it kind of light, but I don't anticipate that I'll be able to pay off the Shasta and take possession of it for another couple of months. However, if you would like to look at some of the eBay auctions that I have to purchase some stuff and help me out, also I've created an Etsy store for my paintings because I've done a painting every day as part of a coping mechanism, and I can't take them with me, and there's a lot. If you have any other questions or comments, leave them below, and I hope that you have an abundance of prosperity and happiness in 2019. And I've been waiting all year to make this joke. See you next year.